was shooting. Hey there, it's episode 60 of Baseball and Whatever. I'm Justin. There's Vinnie. Greg is on assignment. Actually, he's just on vacation, but his dedication, he might join us later via his phone. Today, we're going to be talking Cubs, White Sox, and we are going to rank some random episodes of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia that my lovely wife, Erica, painstakingly drew trivia, wrote facts down, and told me under no circumstances am I allowed to look in this hat and all the information, Vinny. She was very serious. Your sister did not want any peeking, so she was very worried I was going to sneak a peek. I don't know why. I don't know.
Do you like to sneak a peek at Christmas time?
No, of course not. So, yeah, if you are finding us for the first time, thank you for checking us out. We are Baseball and Whatever. First half of the show is baseball and Chicago sports primarily. Second half is pop cultures, music, video games, TV, random top 5 lists of things we enjoy, all that good stuff. If you'd like to reach out to the show, you can in a variety of ways. First, you can tweet at us at baseballandwhat. You can email us at baseballandwhatever@gmail.com or our official podcast network email, baseballandwhateverpodcast at bellyupsports.com. Feel free to give bellyupsports.com a check out if you like. They have sports articles every day and tons of different podcasts on different sports. We are on all available podcast networks, youtube.com/baseballandwhatever and facebook.com/baseballandwhatever, and our voicemail / text line, 1-913-808-3278. That number again is 1-913-808-FART. Thank you, Vinny. All right, Erica's in the chat already and saying yes, that I like to look for my presents at Christmas, so that is why she was very worried I was going to peek at the It's Always Sunny episodes that she pulled for us to rank today. So there you go.
So you're just a liar.
No,
you just
Christmas.
admitted.
No, there was one year. If my parents are listening, there was one year I found my presents and I looked at them. I think I was a senior in high school when I did that. But other than that, that was the only time I ever did that. So,
well, then why would Erica say that you would?
Why does your sister say half the things she says? I don't know.
That's true.
See, there you go. All right. So, before we get started, like always, we are on episode 60, so we are going to try and regale you with famous number 60s, although at this point, I don't feel like they're famous. They're just people who wore the number 60 in Chicago sports, I think, almost at this point, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So, the only one I could think of in terms of Blackhawks would be Colin Delia. Thank you. He's a goalie. He got called up to kind of get some starts after Corey Crawford, and then he was sent back down, and then they thought he'd be a backup, and then Lankinen kind of took the reins one year, and Delia still stayed in Rockford, so he's kind of meandering. I don't even know if he's still technically under contract at this point, but that's all I know for the Blackhawks. You got anybody else, Vinny?
Yes, 1990 Jimmy Waite.
Oh, I actually have Jimmy Waite's autograph. True story. Yes, that must have been like his rookie year, because I want to say he was he had a weird number. I don't remember. It definitely wasn't 60 once he was popular.
36.
That sounds right.
29 from 91 to 97. He wore 29.
29 sounds right. So yeah, he was a backup for the Hawks. I think he was a backup for the San Jose Sharks. But yeah, my uncle went to a game in the early 90s, and I believe the story goes he went down, or his girlfriend at the time went down to the bench, saw Jimmy Waite sitting on the stool because he was the backup, and asked for an autograph, and he signed a pennant. I have it hanging up in my garage still. So
nice.
There you go. Yeah, I think that's probably got to be it for Blackhawks, though, right?
Yes, that's it. Just 2.
Okay. Cubs. I want to say, is it Michael Givens this year has 60? Okay.
Nice work.
He is the only one I can think of on the Cubs. I don't know if there's anybody else.
Not a whole lot. Jason Adam, 2020, 2021 reliever.
That does not ring a bell.
I think he's with the Rays now, I want to say.
Okay.
Yeah, he was a decent reliever. Yeah, he is with Tampa Bay right now. He's wearing 47 for Tampa Bay. But yeah, he was a decent reliever. I think he's doing really well with Tampa right now.
Okay.
Corey Mazzoni, 2018.
That name sounds familiar. Corey, yeah, I vaguely, was he a pitcher?
Most likely.
Okay. I feel like these are all bullpen guys, yeah.
Yep, pitcher, bullpen.
Okay.
Let's see. Felix Pena.
He sounds familiar.
2016, 2017.
That sounds familiar as well.
Manny Corpus.
That sounds familiar as well. I'm
2012?
guessing another bullpen guy. That was when they were really bad, so.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And let's see here. Two other guys, Mitch Atkins, 2009 to 2010.
Oh God, why? I feel like he was an infielder, maybe? I could be wrong, though. I could be wrong on that one.
Let's see here. Nope, pitcher. Wrong.
Oh, okay. All right. Then I don't know what I'm thinking of.
And then Chris Carpenter. Not the St. Louis Chris Carpenter.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I know what you're talking about.
But do you remember what Chris Carpenter is famous for?
Is it something good or bad?
It's something very good. Something that led to the World Series. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, was he a part of the trade to get Rizzo, perchance?
No, he was not.
Okay, what was he a part of? Okay.
He was a part of the trade for Theo Epstein.
Was he
went
really?
To Boston.
Oh,
yes,
God, that's right. I forgot they gave Boston some players or some people. Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
I think it was like I can't remember any other time that there was a trade for a GM during the time. That had to be the first time, maybe the first time ever. But yeah, he was traded. He pitched with the Cubs. He did okay. From what I remember, he was all right.
Okay.
He had a 2.79 ERA with the Cubs.
Oh. It's not
and
bad.
then he went to Boston and didn't do anything. He
was meant
pitched
to
in
be
8
then.
games and had a 9 ERA, and that was about all she wrote.
It was
for him,
meant.
so.
Yeah, well, the Cubs got the better end of that stick then, I guess.
Yes, I would say so.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, I mean, it seems like a lot of the bullpen. It's just a lot of bullpen guys for the most part. So.
Yep, and not good bullpen.
No,
guys.
not usually. No.
No. Okay, now do you have any for the White Sox?
White Sox, I have no one. I don't have a clue.
Don't have anybody? Some guy that
Is there
just
somebody on
got
there right now?
DFA'd this year. He's sitting in Arizona right now.
Oh God. White Sox DFA. What position does he play?
Pitcher.
Oh, Dallas Keuchel.
Good job.
All right.
Yes.
Yep. All right.
Anybody else?
That's all I got. I know.
I know Greg would have a ton of guys here.
I'm sure
Jimmy
he would.
Cordero.
I remember.
2019.
Yep, I remember him.
Tyler Danish. He's pitching with the Red Sox right now.
Is he? Okay.
Yep. Yeah, Greg would be upset about that because he's
he would.
pitching well with the White Sox or the Red Sox right now. Frankie Montas.
Okay.
2015.
Yes, that sounds familiar.
Daniel Webb.
No.
2013.
I couldn't tell you about that one.
Okay. Hector Santiago. 2011. We must have had his name because his name is highlighted.
You must have clicked on it at some point. Yeah.
Yep. Jeff Gray.
No.
Nope.
No, sir.
Scott Schoenweiss.
Yes, Scott Schoenweiss was a lefty. Was he? I want to say he was an Angel for a while too.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, that name sounded familiar. Yes, Angel, 2002 World Series. Yes.
Okay.
You are correct. Let's see here. Who else? Rocky Biddle.
Yes,
baseball
I
name.
remember Rocky Biddle. He was a reliever. He stands out. I don't remember if he was very good or bad, but he definitely stands out.
Let's see here. Nelson Cruz, not the Nelson Cruz.
Not that
you're
Nelson
thinking
Cruz.
Of.
No, I do not
the
remember.
pitcher Nelson Cruz.
I don't remember. Not as good Nelson Cruz. No.
Yeah, no, he was not as good for a reason. Yep, wasn't in the league too long. 6 years.
Okay.
For a pitcher, not too good. But yet that's it for the White Sox. And I guess all we have left is the Bears. You got anybody for the Bears?
I will admit I don't have anyone for the Bears. Nobody.
This one's bad. Honestly, in my lifetime, none of these names are standing out. Terrence Metcalf, that vaguely sounds familiar.
No, all I know
like
is
a
I know DK Metcalf or whatever his name is.
I
but
think
not
that's the only
Terrence.
reason why that stood out to me.
Yeah.
No, Taylor Ball. I mean, most of the guys are a year or two, and I don't. Yeah, Dieter Eiselin.
No,
Yeah,
I don't know who that is.
2020 to 2022. I have no idea who that guy is. There are two guys that are before my time. Wally Chambers, 1973 to 1977.
Okay.
And Roger Davis, 1960 to 1963. Wally Chambers was 3-time Pro Bowl, 1-time All-Pro. He was on the Defensive Rookie of the Year 1973 and Defensive Player of the Year 1976. So pretty good guy, I guess.
Okay.
Pretty good player.
Okay.
I have no idea who the heck he is. And then Roger Davis won an NFL championship in his time. I don't know if it was with the Bears or who it was. Probably with the Bears. 60 to 63. I'm sure they probably won a NFL championship during that time.
Yeah, it sounds sure.
Yep.
I'll take
sure.
your word.
Why not?
I'll take your word for it. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll give him a championship. Why not? But yeah, nobody of notable. Stan Thomas. Yeah, Stan Thomas, 91 to 92. And bum. I don't know.
I have no idea
I don't know
who Stan Thomas is. Not a clue.
Yeah,
not
is
a
it Joe
clue.
Thomas's dad? Yeah, I don't know. He didn't play in the year. He didn't play in the league too long. 4 years, so he was gone.
Sounds like a typical Bear. You know,
Yep.
They draft them, they give them a chance, and they're not that good, and then they vanish. You know,
Heck, they're drafting guys who had career-ending injuries before
that's
they
true.
reached
Yes,
the NFL.
that's true. Good point. Good point. That is true.
I think that does it for the numbers.
All right, very cool. In terms of the text line, we don't have any texts or voicemails this week, but we did have a YouTube comment from Zach. Last week we did our top 5 PS2 games, and he mentioned, I think the game he mentioned was Champions of Norrath, which he said was an action RPG like Diablo. You ever played Diablo, Vinny?
No.
Okay, I know I've played
not.
that. It was fine. I think a new one is in the works, maybe something like that. So, yeah, I never really got into those though. But thank you, Zach, for writing in. I guess it's time. It's not Greg's hot takes this week because Greg is out of commission, but it's Vinny's hot takes. So let's get to some hot takes.
Greg's Hot Takes.
Now you want to get nuts? Come on!
Hell yeah.
All right, want to get nuts? Come on. Let's get nuts!
All right. Alrighty, Vinny, you got a couple hot takes. So first, you wanted to talk about your time in Chicago. What do you got for us?
Yeah, I guess my first hot take would be that Chicago's a lovely city.
It is. I love. We were just down there for some doctor stuff, and it was just. It's so getting older and not being so nervous to drive downtown anymore. It's as soon as you see the skyline and you're driving around downtown, there's something really cool about it being down there.
Yeah, and it gets a bad rap.
It does.
in the national news. But I don't know. I felt completely safe being down there. I mean, granted, I'm in the north side.
On the north side, which is typically
Michigan Avenue and stuff
yeah.
like that. And there, there's police presence and everything like that. But I feel like Chicago gets a bad rap.
I think it does too. I don't think it's nearly as bad as people make it out to be. I mean, there's also the idea that you just got to be aware of your surroundings and know where you're at, and
Exactly.
And at certain times of the night, you shouldn't be in certain spots. But I would imagine that's like any big city. I mean, it. So I don't know if that's just me. But
Yep. No, I agree.
well, good. I'm glad you had a good time.
Yeah, we went to the Cubs game, and we were staying at the Millennium Knickerbocker, which is on the north end of Michigan Avenue. So we took the divvy bikes that they have there, the electric ones,
nice,
and we took that up Lakeshore Drive, pretty much on the beach, which was a fantastic ride all the way up to Addison. Dropped the bikes off and walked to Wrigley from there. So that was a pretty slick way to get to the game.
Yeah, that's
Didn't
awesome.
have to worry about driving or taking an Uber or anything like that. So it was nice. It was really hot that day. It was 90 degrees and humid. But I mean, those electric bikes. Have you ridden on one of those?
I have not. They look so cool though.
They're fun. I mean, if you guys get a chance to go down there, definitely do schedule time to do that. They have the electric bikes, and they also got electric scooters now, which
cool.
I chickened out and I didn't take a scooter. I should
that would have been fun.
Yeah, I was kicking myself the next day. I was like, I should have should have taken the scooter instead of the bike, because then I would have been even less work. But those electric bikes, they're pretty fun to get around the town. You go pretty fast on those.
I'll be honest, I don't think I realized the Divvy bikes were electric. I just assumed they were like...
The blue ones are regular.
Oh, okay.
But there's a black and a gray one, and both of those are electric. The gray ones are newer than the black ones, and they have like an LCD screen on it showing you like the battery life and everything like that. But
nice.
But yeah, they're fun. So, hello, Greg.
Hey, Greg is in the room now, coming all the way from Ohio. Greg,
can you guys hear me? Okay.
We can hear you just fine.
We do.
Yes, I'm just fixing something on the screen real quick. Go ahead, talk amongst yourselves.
How are you boys doing?
We're good. We're just
fine.
We're recounting Vinny's trip to Chicago and talking about what a lovely city we live nearby. And I think sometimes maybe I don't know. I feel like sometimes I take it for granted, and it's really maybe not as bad as everyone says it is. I don't know, but you grew up closer to the city than me and Vinny, so maybe you have a different take on it.
I do like the city very much. I miss biking down there. I like to freak out my mother-in-law when I drive down the streets of Chicago. Remember last time I did that, the Shed Aquarium, I think we took her to. She's like, how do you fly down the streets? I'm like, I don't see any speed limits posted. So
gotta go with the flow of traffic.
Which you don't. She's like, oh, you let the taxi in front of you? Nope. The bus? Nope. You cut around them. If they keep coming, you just keep moving over. Everyone will move eventually.
Yeah,
so.
It'll be
and
fine.
It's funny enough. Biking, this might sound crazy, but riding your bicycle in the city is a hell of a lot safer than riding your bike in any suburb or anything, or any kind of busy street. Because at least in the city, they're actually, they're observant of bikers because it's a thing. It's a way of transportation. Here, just even where I live, you're on a bike path and people don't even look in the intersection. You can get run over so easily. So it's crazy how that is. But yeah.
Well,
yeah. Well, plus they're looking for the bikes too in the city because there's so much.
Exactly.
There's a lot more going on there where people in the suburb are probably
they're
not
oblivious.
paying attention to that.
They're texting.
They're texting. Oh God, yeah. So. What, Vinny? You mentioned you had a Seinfeld experience. What was your Seinfeld experience downtown?
I did. Get this now. Seinfeld is way ahead of their time in terms of, I guess, fashion.
Okay.
I saw someone pulling off a Sue Ellen Mishke. And it was.
That's great.
I didn't crash my bike. I was riding my bike.
You had to do a double take,
down Lakeshore Drive. I did not do a double take. No, I did not do that. My wife probably would have ran me over if I would have done that. But I did ask my wife. I was like, was there someone just wearing their bra walking around? And she said yes. And she's like, I cannot believe it. And I was like, okay, I needed to make sure that was what I saw so I can mention it on the podcast tonight, that I actually saw someone pull Sue Ellen Mishke. So I guess that's now the style for some women to pull off. So you've been warned.
Good to know.
Be careful as you're driving your car.
You'll have to stop her and ask her if she's the heiress to the Baby Ruth.
Henry.
Henry. Sorry, not Baby Ruth. The O. Henry bar. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. So yeah, that was interesting fashion item I saw out in Chicago. So
nice, very nice. And then how was Wrigley in general this time around?
Another hot take. I really like Rickettsville. Not gonna lie, it was fantastic.
They got him.
Yeah, they sure do. The stadium, all the renovations of the stadium.
Oh, the renovations are great.
It is no longer a dive bar. It is very nice there.
It's a classy bar now.
They still have the troughs though to pee in, except
of course.
Except they've been upgraded. Sloan now makes the troughs. They're not just like actual real troughs. They're actual like customized troughs for you to pee in. So they're still there, Justin, for you to take a leak in.
Lovely.
But no, it was my first time going to a Chicago bar. We went to Sluggers to get some food before the game. So I did like the whole Wrigley experience.
You did it all.
which was the first time doing that, which was fantastic, and it was a lot of fun.
Good.
So yeah, I'm hooked. They have me. Say what you will about Tom Ricketts and the owners of the Cubs, but what they've done around Wrigley is nice.
I do like. Granted, I've never gone and sat in it because I think you need a ticket to get in there, and I would never want to leave my seats. But I love what's the promenade or the park that's like connected to it now. I can't remember what
Gallagher Way.
Gallagher Way. That is a really nice setup. But I'm surprised people have tickets to the game and then they go sit in there instead. That's my understanding of how it works, right?
Well, there were families out there because they have like the artificial turf out there for kids to play. So when we actually left the game early because in the bottom of the 8th they threw out a position player to pitch, and I was like, yeah, this isn't worth it. Like I'm done. And of course, out. I think as we were walking out, we were on the second level, so by the time we got down to like the exit, they had already hit 3 home runs off the position player. So
yeah,
I was like, okay,
you made a good call on that one.
Yeah, and Gretchen wanted to beat the crowd out too, so I didn't have any problem doing that. Once I saw the position player, I'm like, they're giving up. Like, there's no point to stay to this.
The cat is in the bag now. Like or cat's out of the bag. I don't know. Yeah,
cat's out of the bag.
Cat's out of the bag.
Hey,
they're giving up.
Some Cincinnati Reds fans just walked in. You want to give them shit, Vinny?
No, I don't need to do
No. Why would you
we don't need to do that. I feel bad for them.
Why would you want to do that to those poor people?
Yeah, don't need to knock them when they're down.
Because. Oh, no.
The Cubs.
If you don't, I will.
The Cubs will eventually be good again. I mean, the Reds might never be good again. So
I don't think they've ever really been good in our lifetime.
Didn't they ever
won a playoff game?
They were the Nasty Boys in like the early '90s, right? With like Ron Dibble and stuff.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess it's the Pirates that haven't won a playoff game in.
The Pirates have been awful
the
since
'90s.
Yeah, since the late.
The Reds
80s.
would make it with Dust. They made it to the playoffs with Dusty a couple times, but they didn't make it far.
Yeah,
about it.
So.
No, I mean, God, they had Griffey and Adam Dunn, and still couldn't make it. So,
Scott Hatteberg.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, Vinny, I'm glad you had such a nice time. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a great experience. I know we were just talking about we want to go downtown again and do the kayak on the Riverwalk. That was so much fun when we did that.
Ooh, that was fun.
That was like, what, 4 years ago we all did that? Does that sound right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think so, yeah.
3 years ago, probably.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. So, yeah, I definitely got to get back down there. So, yeah, the only other hot take I had, and this isn't even a hot take, but me and Erica watched the first episode of the second half of Stranger Things today. Holy cow, was that a great episode. I am so ready for the finale. I don't know when we're going to have time to watch it because it's like 2.5 hours long. So that might be like bits and pieces here and there. But, man, that season, it started off kind of slow. I wasn't really feeling it, but it's kind of really picked up. Really enjoying it. I know, Vinny, you finished it, right?
No, I haven't started.
Oh, you haven't? Okay.
Was it episode?
The second half or whatever, 8, 9 or whatever? Okay.
Chapter 2 or whatever.
Yeah, that sounds right. Right.
But no, this season 4 I think is my favorite season so far. It's been their best. It's the darkest of all the seasons.
It's really dark, really dark. And I really like season 3 in the mall, but this one's pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah. Season 3 was kind of more like I felt like uplifting.
Yes.
I guess so.
This one, there's not a lot of hope in this one.
No, not at all. But I don't know. I've liked it from the get-go. I didn't think it was slow. I thought it was really kind of like almost creepy.
I shouldn't say it wasn't the plot wasn't slow. I think it took me a while to start to really get into it. Like it was one of those kind of things, which is just weird because I don't know, contrarian to begin with. Usually it seems when it comes to TV shows, but
no, not you,
not me. No, never. Greg, you got any other hot takes before we move on to baseball?
Earlier in the week, I don't know how my White Sox are doing right now. I know the game probably just started. They're in San Francisco.
Yes, they are.
I think Lance Lynn is on the bump.
Yes.
Something weird? I don't know if this is not even really a hot take, but isn't it? It's just more sad take. I strongly believe just watching the Orioles and even the Pirates.
Mm-hmm.
I think those two teams are more exciting than the White Sox right now.
Ooh.
And those teams are not going anywhere right now. Have you guys been paying attention to these teams at all?
Yeah.
They've got some young studs.
Baltimore is exciting.
Some young studs. Dude, they're not winning anything.
No.
They're not going anywhere. But they look more fun on the field. The Pirates have O'Neal Cruz, who they just
Mm-hmm.
called up, like the 7-foot tall shortstop who also hits.
Yes.
And
He also
Balt-
got arrested at some point for, I think he was charged with manslaughter for killing someone in a DUI, if I'm not mistaken.
Did that just happen?
Nah, I want to say when he was in the minors. You guys keep talking. I'll see.
Well,
if
was
I
that
can
the
find it.
same guy?
The really tall guy, right?
I didn't know that. Yeah,
Oh,
I didn't know
boy.
that was the same guy.
Oh, maybe
That's not good.
So he's,
maybe it's,
he's
maybe
definitely interesting.
Oh no. Well, actually, I'm looking up. No, Ryan.
I can't imagine he'd be playing in the league if he was
No,
arrested
you know what?
for
Do you know what the guy?
the slaughtering of a
Yeah,
man.
This isn't the NFL.
What's the guy's name again?
O'Neal Cruz.
All right, I'll see if I can find him. But yeah,
And if you look at while you're looking at that, if you look at the Orioles, like I was watching the Orioles White Sox, the Orioles 1-6 is actually really good in the lineup. I mean, they got Mancini, they got Rushman in there, they got Hayes and Cedric Mullins. I was watching those guys play, and they look like real baseball players more so than the White Sox do right now. They just do better things. And then Luis Robert not even being in like the top 20 for all-star outfielders in the AL, that's just trash. I mean, yeah, he hasn't earned it this year, but that's where he's supposed to be. Say what you will about the all-star game, but perennial all-star, perennial MVP, this guy has gotten nowhere since he's gotten the big leagues. He's just a regular-ass player, which is stupid.
It says here O'Neal Cruz in the Dominican Republic. Was facing trial as of September 2020 and could receive up to 5 years in jail. This was due in part to a car accident where he was driving and under the influence, and 3 people were killed in the car crash.
Oh, okay, so that is the same guy.
Yes, but this was an article from September 20th, so that was 2020, so I'm assuming things must have gotten worked out, or he did a plea deal or something. I don't know, so.
Maybe.
But Pretzel Vince says Baltimore supposedly has a bullpen.
Yeah, that's their big thing. They do have a lot of no names in there that are also really good. So, I mean, They can't go anywhere in their division. But tell you what, they're probably more fun to watch than the White Sox. Like I said, I don't know what they're doing right now.
I can tell you they are. It's the end of the first. It's 0-0.
Yep.
Okay.
Bases were loaded for the
Who's winning?
Who's winning? The Bears.
Well done.
Well, before we get to our Cubs and White Sox talk, we'd like to thank our continuing partner In the Clutch for joining up with us here on Baseball and Whatever. In the Clutch is your awesome sports apparel company known for their licensed MLB, Negro League, and MLS apparel, along with great shirts to rep your favorite retro hockey, baseball, and football teams. Head to intheclutch.com and at checkout use promo code all one word, baseball and what to get 10% off. Again, go to intheclutch.com, pick out a t-shirt or a shirt you like, and at the checkout, use promo code baseball and what, all one word, and get 10% off. So thank you to those guys and gals over there. All right, let's get to the baseball talk, Vinny.
Baseball.
Welcome back to Major League Baseball. Sort of.
Taking a look at Chicago's 2 favorite teams and other happenings around the MLB.
All right, I guess we can start with the Southsiders, the Southside Hitmen. The good guys wear black. The White Sox, because technically they still have a better record than the Cubs. So a couple things I wanted to run through. They called up Sosa the other day. I think he played like a game and a half, if that, and he's already been sent back down because Yoan Moncada is back. And I don't know how well he's doing. I haven't watched any White Sox lately. Last I heard it was kind of hit or miss this week for him. So Eloy is in AAA. He finally hit his first home run. He hadn't hit a home run all AAA there. I don't know if that's really that great. And then Andrew Vaughn. Vinny, I don't know if you saw this, but I guess there was a chance that they could have had Andrew Vaughn pinch hit in a serious situation, and they went with having Leori Garcia batting, I believe, instead. And afterwards, they asked Tony La Russa why, Andrew Vaughn is a pretty good hitter, and the response we got from Tony was he doesn't have his legs. To which I just keep thinking of Lieutenant Dan. Lieutenant Dan, you ain't got no legs. Like, that's all I think of, So I don't know about you guys, but I couldn't believe that he's 25, 26, and he's is there some exhaustion? Is it long COVID? Like, what is keeping him out of the lineup?
I don't know, but I think he also was telling the reporters that Liori had some good at bats that game too, and was telling them that did you see his at bats, and pulling the old Tony, I'm smarter than you, I know what I'm doing. Well, leave me the hell alone, get off my lawn.
The kicker was Lawrence Holmes and Dan Bernstein on 670 The Score. They did a little bit of research, and I can't remember if it was WRC plus. It was some analytic stat, and out of the 217 baseball players that were eligible based on their at bats, Leori Garcia ranked 216th. But if you talk to Tony, you got to watch his at bats. Don't look at the stats. Watch the at bats.
Yeah, trust Tony's gut, right?
Yeah. He's not going anywhere. And I don't know if you saw one of the producers for The Score, I think it was Shane Reardon, he had a sit-down podcast with Rick Hahn. And he's like, well, I give my advice when we have our meetings, and I know it's being heard. And I'm like, oh, that's not a good sign.
Nope.
That's
not at all.
That poor guy, to put together a championship quality team, and I mean, they are wasting this season. This season is I want to say
wasting the team.
They're wasting the
team.
The
season.
They're wasting the city's excitement for the White Sox. I want to say I looked at the numbers.
Can you boys hear me?
Yes, we can. Greg, are you
sorry,
back?
I got to run. Got to take care of the kids.
No problem.
You boys have a great rest of the show. And White Sox aren't winning the division or going to the playoffs this year. See ya.
Fair enough.
That was a hot take.
That was I don't know if that was a hot take at this point, but yeah, like I was curious what he was gonna say. I want to say, like, with the amount of games left, they'd have to go like almost 60-30 to like come away with a clear lead in the division. Which, let's be realistic, they are not gonna do that. I don't see that happening.
Well, I don't see it happening, but trying to spin it in a positive way, because that's what I feel like I have to do. I have to talk both you and Greg off
for both teams.
For both teams. They have the easiest, like one of the easiest schedules in the second half. Obviously it's not going that well, right? It's not off to a great start. I mean, they should have won 2 out of 3 against Baltimore. They didn't. I don't think they did that. They did that against. They beat Detroit. That's what you're supposed to do: beat bad teams. But it's funny. They hit. They got 11 runs against the Angels, and people were asking. Sox fans are on Twitter. Are the Sox back? I don't know. I'm hoping that was sarcasm, because the Angels are terrible. Yeah, you should have gotten, a team like that should get 11 runs on a daily night from them. Then the next night, I think they got 1 run, 4 hits, and I guess it was against Ohtani. So but still, like, come on, guys, like, it's got to be more consistent than that. It's just been very inconsistent. It's got to be super frustrating for fans like Greg. Well, Greg at this point, I feel like is kind of just.
I think he's resigned to the fact that it's not going to end well. Yeah, which I feel like he's one that's such a big proponent of their window is closing, and if you take this year away, like, it's really starting to close then, right? Yep. Like, 'cause I know some of those younger guys' contracts are going to be coming up in the near future, and they're not going to take the discounts anymore, and I don't know.
Did you see the CHGO Luke Stuckmeyer, the trade proposal?
I heard them talking about it, but I did not see what was the actual trade proposal. It involved Yoan Moncada, didn't it?
Yes, it was Yoan Moncada for Patrick Wisdom and Ian Happ. I would not do that.
No, I don't think I want Yoan.
I see, and that's the thing. He was talking about how Happ, they don't think Happ fits in the future plans, but Happ and Moncada are both 27 years old.
Yeah.
And I know that, at this point, I know Yohan had one season where he had a WRC plus of 140, or maybe it was OPS plus of 140. Mm-hmm. But Ian Happ's got a better career OPS plus than Yoan Moncada. I don't know. To me, it feels like, people are still looking at his potential.
Yes.
But I don't know if
we're
it's
past
there
we're
anymore.
past that now. Yeah.
Like, he had it in one season. The past 2 years have not been good. This year's abysmal.
No,
yeah,
I don't
know.
Yeah,
I mean, as the Cubs, they need to get more back than just Moncada.
No, and
but,
to be honest, I think I'm good with trading with the White Sox for a little while after the last two trades. I mean, the jury on Magical's still out. I know he's working his way back, but I would not want Yoan Moncada. I mean, like you said, he's 27. He's not. I think the ceiling has maybe been reached despite the injuries that have kind of weighed him back. But even talking to yesterday, I was on the Pesky Report, which is that Red Sox podcast for Belly Up Sports, and they were kind of talking about, some of the guys the White Sox wanted. The Red Sox weren't going to give them up, and they gave up Moncada because maybe they knew that the ceiling was a little misevaluated, on him. So
they have Rafael Devers there. That guy was way better than Moncada.
Oh, yeah.
Way better. That was that's looking like a bad trade. I think the only good piece is Kopech out of that trade.
Yeah, and even him, I don't know if he's exactly what they thought they were getting, perhaps. Maybe, I don't know. But he's still, I would take him. He's a decent pitcher.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's good. I mean, he had the, I think he missed missed a season with shoulder injury, and then the COVID year he opted out. He opted out,
right.
So but he's working back, and he had COVID this year.
Yeah,
right?
And if he was one of the guys that had the long COVID situation, I mean, that might mess you up. I mean, for a while I thought maybe I didn't know if Andrew Vaughn had gotten COVID, because when they talked about him not having his legs, I'm like, well, maybe that could be. There's a percentage of people that are still reporting symptoms of things like that. So I don't know. But White Sox, it's not looking good. That would be my takeaway.
And getting to Greg's point about Luis Robert being just a guy, they on the Bernstein and Holmes show, I don't know if you heard that too, where they went over WRC Plus.
Yes.
And Jake Berger and Luis have the same WRC Plus. They're the exact same offensive player, which is
mind-boggling
not good for a guy that's supposed to be multiple
MVP,
MVPs,
5-tool,
the next Mike Trout, so to speak. But that's not good. And I know Greg, we don't have the voicemail, but Greg was not happy about that.
Yes,
Luis being only in the top 20, and his concerns sounded a lot like Cub fans with Chris Bryant.
Yeah.
Although Chris Bryant won a World Series and an MVP, and Rookie of the Year, it just is one of those things where Chris Bryant peaked too early, and we never got any more of that. And so I think that's where kind of Cub fans' disdain came from. We were, multiple MVPs. Well, you only got one in the year they won the World Series, and obviously we know how that ended up. And to me, that's just hearing Greg's tone and just disdain for Luis Robert and how disappointed he is.
Yeah,
it just echoes a lot of Cub fans, and it's like, ooh, that's not good. That unfortunately is not good. And this season has just been I would say almost a nightmare for the potential of what these guys are supposed to be doing.
Right, and especially you thought you had something to build off of last year. Granted, the season was great, the postseason not so great for them, but you thought maybe they could build off of that, and they're going to be lucky if they make the playoffs. I mean, at this point, it's trending towards no, but we will see. The Cubs haven't been playing too horrible lately, I guess, would be my way to preface it.
3-game win streak. They're
3-game win streak
right now.
They are on a winning streak. David Bodie came back and then collided with Nico Horner on a shift play, and now he's out again. So, oh, wow, we got a hot take from Pretzel Vince in the chat. Chris Bryant is a bum.
Hey, everybody, an old man's talking.
Oh, I like Chris Bryant, but he's out. He's been out most of the season in Colorado, but he's still collecting his paycheck, I guess. But so David Bodie, who knows? That was the same shoulder he had some surgery on over the offseason, I believe they said.
Yes.
So he might be seeing more time off. Jason Hayward is now on the IL, which it's only the 10-day IL, so I guess that's 10 days of not having to see him ground out to second base.
Yes, and we get Narciso Crook
Yes.
playing out there.
You know what?
Who actually looks pretty good. Saw his first major league hit, which was a double RBI.
Yeah.
So that was a great play.
You know,
And he looks good out there.
I feel like if the kids are somewhat potentially ready to see some major league time, if they're at AAA, you know, don't be moving up guys from AA or, you know, whatever, anything like that. But if there's close and there's room on the roster, which clearly there is, keep playing Rivas every day so you know what you have in him. You know,
Didn't get to see him in the game at all.
Yeah, that was
disappointing.
No,
that broke my heart.
I was hoping you would, and then I saw that. I'm like, oh, that's not fair to Vinny. But the other surprising thing is Chris Morel had a rough go for a little while. Had a little rough go for a little while, and then they moved him to the 9th spot in the order instead of leadoff, and now he's on a 3-game home run streak. He's kind of found his stroke again. That guy, I want to call him a kid because I think he's like, what, 22, 23?
Yeah.
I mean, he's much younger than me, but he seems like he's just loving what he does out there. It makes me so happy because he was somebody I had never really been aware of in terms of their minor league rosters, but that's been really exciting to see. Patrick Wisdom's hitting a lot of home runs lately, which is great. Suzuki had his second game back in Iowa tonight. I believe he was DHing. He hit a home run yesterday, I believe, for the Iowa Cubs.
2 for 3 yesterday.
So getting him back would be great. And then, you know, you got the idea of the All-Star game, and where do you stand in the chat? We have All-Stars, Ian Happ and Wilson Contreras. Where do you stand on them being All-Stars, Vinny?
They both should be, I think.
I would agree.
I think Ian Happ deserves it. He's been playing great this year. You know, unfortunately, that means he's probably going to get traded. Along with Wilson. But, you know, he does have an extra year of control left, so we'll see. Maybe they push it off and maybe try to work on an extension. I don't know what they're doing. This window looks like, or you know, it's not supposed to. They're not supposed to have cores, but now they're having cores. So who knows? It just who knows what they're gonna do. But he deserves an All-Star.
Oh, he does. He does. Both of them do, and it's sad. I think Ian Happ was like what, 5th or 6th or 7th in the.
Yeah,
I don't think he's gonna make it. In terms of, I still hate
Wilson
both.
will.
Wilson will, yeah. He was first for the catchers, right?
Yes.
And I want to say his brother's first for DH, I believe.
Yes, he is.
So that's kind of cool. But I'll be honest, I'm so over the whole fan vote thing. I wish. Yeah. That's so dumb. It's a popularity contest. It's not a true All-Star game.
Fernando Tatis is.
He hasn't played a game all season. Yeah, but he's voted to start because he's popular. Yeah, which.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother thing. But
they have the players vote.
I would too.
Vote for their guys and the coaches. I'd rather have
I think that would be a great idea. You know, I get why they have the fan vote to drum up interest and draw interest from the fans, but no thanks. But yeah, Greg's in the chat. He said I voted for Tatis. Of course he did. Of course he did.
Vote for someone that plays. You should vote for Nico for shortstop.
Nico deserves to be there too, I think. Well. Yeah. I mean, he's been having a really hot run lately too. So
he's the best defensive shortstop in the game.
And what's funny is, remember in the offseason there was so much talk about, oh God, can he make the move to shortstop? Is that going to be a temporary thing?
We talked about it here.
Yeah. And he's pretty much taken it and run with it. So I think Wilson will definitely make it. It made me so sad when they interviewed Wilson after the game and they told me about 100th home run and 600 hits as a Cub, and he's like, he didn't even know those stats, and he's like, I want to stay here forever. I want to play here for as long as I can. And he's not, because I don't know if that's a ownership thing. I don't know if it's an agent thing. We can get to that agent thing in a little bit in terms of Freddie Freeman. That whole thing is a train wreck with what's going on there. But it's just it's interesting. When you were there, did you get to see any of the sports book? I know it's still under construction. I don't think it's open yet, but.
Yes. Yeah, it's just the bare bones. I saw it. We walked past it. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, I mean they showed some pictures, I think, on Twitter. I want to say someone released some, and I'm like, okay. Yeah. I can honestly say when I go to a game, I'm probably never gonna go in that thing. I don't think I would. If I was into betting, which I'm not, I think I would just do it on my phone. You know what I mean? I don't know, but I guess they're going to make money. People will go there. I'm sure of it.
Oh, yeah. So it's surprising that they put it on Wrigley. You think that they probably could have used one of their properties that they had around there and built it there. But I don't know if there's the rules it has to be at the stadium. So maybe that's
there might
why
be
they
something
did it.
like that.
It just seems cramped where they have it. So yeah, I was whatever. Like I said, it's just a bare bones, so I don't even know what it's going to look like. Maybe it looks nice when it's finished. It might. But I don't even think I would be able to gamble there because I don't live in Illinois.
Yeah, that's true. And I know for a while you had to go into like a physical place to set everything up, and then they waived that during the pandemic, and then they brought it back, and I want to say they waived it again, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I mean, the Cubs are the Cubs. Hopefully, well, we know Wilson will make the All-Star game. Hopefully, somehow Ian Happ will. I don't see it, but they're going along, and I don't know. I'm really excited every time I see Justin Steele and Keegan Thompson pitch just to see what we have, and they've had their ups and downs, but it could be worse. That's kind of where I'm at right now on a 3-game winning streak. So
it could be, but I'm glad that not glad. Well, I guess I am kind of glad, but it's nice that guys like Hayward and Bodie aren't taking up spots because we know who they are. And it's I'd rather see Christopher Morel play second base with Nico.
Yep.
And Nelson Velasquez and Narciso Crook out in the outfield getting some playing time and so they can get a good look at them. It'd be nice. It's nice seeing even though Rivas didn't play, it was nice seeing PJ Higgins out there instead of Frank Schwindel.
He's not even doing that bad. He's got like a 300 batting average too.
Yep,
so
he's doing well. Yeah, he hit a home run in that game too. Again, it was off the position player, but home run's still a home run. So
yeah, I'll take it.
Doesn't matter. Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great to see the young guys actually get time to play. So it is fortunate that there's spots available for them, and they're kind of forced to play the younger guys instead of the loyalty aspect that David Ross feels for Jason Hayward.
Right. He doesn't have a choice now because it's not an option. And I almost feel like. Oh God, Jed or whatever the hell our GM's name that no one really ever sees. I don't know. I'm just saying. Carter Hawkins. Jed drinks a glass of water. I don't know. You notice Carter Hawkins doesn't talk. I'm just saying. But on a more interesting note, if we take a little bit of a look around the MLB, this is for Greg, who I know is still in the chat. Poor Yermin Mercedes was sent down just before the White Sox Giants matchup. Could have been the revenge game for the Yerminator, but we will not get to see it now. So I don't know.
At least he didn't get DFA'd.
He did not get DFA'd. He got sent to AAA.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, just because I have a disdain for Tony La Russa, I would have loved to have seen him come back and hit like a grand slam and win the game against the White Sox. But that's just me. Vinny, I'm very curious because we definitely like our Cubs, our jerseys on this podcast. What was your take on the Padres City Connect jerseys that got released today? Did you see that?
It.
I like
it
too.
I did.
It's unique.
Not bad.
Yeah.
I like the colors. Kind of like the I don't know, creamsicle colors.
It's like a cream and a neon pink and a neon.
But it's not like a bright neon. They're like subtle neon.
And I don't know if did you watch the hype video that they played along with it? Okay, so it was like a 2-minute video, and it was going through like San Diego and like the sunset. The ocean represented the green. The sunset at night was the pink, and I think the orangish color was supposed to be the sand. And they had Tony Hawk in the video because apparently he's from out there. I don't know, but it was really cool. I'm like, those hats. The hats are really nice. They're like lime green with like the pink SD. I want to say, they're pretty sharp looking. But that ends the City Connect for this year and last year. They are all wrapped up now. Before we get to Freddie Freeman, I don't know, did you see the replay of Mike Trout looking just absolutely miserable in center field when he had to yell to his pitcher that he was tipping pitches the other night?
No.
My God, it was hysterical.
I'm surprised it took this long for him to look miserable being on the Angels.
So they showed, I don't remember which pitcher it was. It wasn't Ohtani, I can guarantee you that. But, they said supposedly, because a couple of reporters did some digging, and they said that the Angels pitchers actually go to Mike Trout and ask him to watch to see if they're tipping their pitches because he's so focused on the game from center field. And sure enough, you see him during the game, they had the cameras on him. He caught it before any of the pitching coaches, any of the assistant coaches, manager, everybody. And he's literally, this doesn't play if you're listening to the audio version, but he's literally yelling to the pitcher and he's taking his mitt and he's like, you're holding your mitt out too far when you're going to throw like a breaking ball. And then you're holding your mitt in close when you're going to throw a fastball. Stop doing that. And then afterwards, you can just see, he's like, what am I doing here?
Right.
I mean, the guy's never even won a playoff game, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Never been to the playoffs.
Never been to the playoffs. So, oh boy. Yeah, just, I can't feel too bad considering he signed that extension, but I got to think.
Yeah, that's on him.
That's on him. But after a while, I feel like if you have that mentality, you want to win, it's got to be annoying to be on just a team that's not going anywhere anytime soon.
For sure. But I mean, he signed the
deal.
He played there for a while. It's not like he played there a year or two and they, sold him on crap saying, oh, we'll contend. Like, he knew what the hell was going on.
Yeah.
And
so unless they
you can't look
him,
too miserable out there if you signed up for that, especially at that big of a contract.
Between that and then the look when Joe Madden walked, one of the players, that was he's like, what the hell are we doing? But Greg even says the fact that the coaching staff is missing it is even worse. I would agree. And now they have Phil Nevin as the manager. I mean, I remember he was a Cub for a short period of time.
Yeah.
He also got suspended for a few games. There was a big tussle.
For the big brouhaha against
there were some actual punches thrown.
Mariners.
It wasn't a slap fest. Yeah, it was kind of interesting. So, I don't know. Do we want to talk about Freddie Freeman? Should we get into this?
Should we?
I find it hilarious. So if you're not familiar, Freddie Freeman. Oh, go ahead. Do you have a soundbite?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
All right. So Pretzel Vince in the chat said, what is Freeman's problem? He's on a winning team. It's not like he went to the Cubs. That is very true.
Yes.
If you're not familiar with the story, Freddie Freeman was an Atlanta Brave for all of his career, pretty much?
Pretty much, yep.
He had said that he wanted to stay a Brave after they won the World Series. Supposedly, there was discussions with his agent that they wanted to give the Braves an ultimatum to make a decision. My understanding was the Braves saw this ultimatum come up and said, you know what, he's going to leave. So then they went and made the deal for, was it Matt Olson?
Matt Olson, yep.
Who they're having a pretty similar season. So they signed Matt Olson, and then Freeman's done. He's out on his own. He goes and signs a huge deal with the Dodgers, and he's having a great season. This week, though, was his first game back in Atlanta. He got his World Series ring, teared up a little bit, and then in the postgame, he kind of talked about how he wanted to kind of stay. And then it turns out that the Braves made a counteroffer, and his agent never told him, right? That's what I understood.
Yeah, I guess so. I didn't look too much into it, to be honest, but yeah, it seemed like there was some malfeasance that went on with the agent, and he got canned.
He got fired, and then I know the agent just released a statement yesterday or today saying this didn't happen. I am always forthright with my customers or my clients. So someone's not telling the truth, or someone's misunderstanding what was being said to them. But it even had, oh, God, what's his name? The ace of the Dodgers staff. I can't think of his name now. Pitcher.
Not Kershaw Bueller?
Well, formerly Kershaw. He's not the ace anymore. But Kershaw even came out and said, hey, we're a good team. You're here now. And it's like, oh, man, like, is he going to get traded by next year? I'm wondering if he's even going to serve that entire contract in L.A. because clearly his heart's not there.
He can get over it. I don't know. Like
it's just a weird. It's a weird thing. Like I get it's a business. I love it when players stick around and play in one spot their whole career. Obviously, that doesn't happen anymore, and rightfully so. If your team's shortchanging you, you have every right to try and go get more money. Glucose in the chat says Derek Jeter stood up for the agent too. Well, that's very interesting.
That's not good.
That's the Derek Jeter death knell. Yeah,
I'm on Freeman's side now.
Yeah. Oh boy, Greg is anti-Freeman as well. But it's weird to see. You don't really see the players get that involved or that emotional in it. There's kind of like that business-esque mentality. But clearly Atlanta meant something to him. I mean, L.A., he's from California. He's from L.A. That's kind of why he went there. It says here the Braves had the better offer, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe the offer that wasn't told to him, supposedly, I'm guessing, right?
That seems odd, though, that
if they had
unless
the better
the agent
offer.
thought that he was going to be able... Well, yeah, the whole thing's weird. Like, if the agent really did that, then he's going to be in trouble, and he's probably not going to be an agent too much longer.
Too much
if
longer,
that's
yeah.
really what happened, and unless he, and why would you do that if the offer was better?
Yeah, I don't...
And maybe he thought he was going to get more, but Freeman's an older player. It's not like
he's been around the block. Like I feel like, granted, what I do and what you do are very different, but than having a contract negotiated. I mean, we have I have a contract, but it's negotiated so many years in advance by a union. But I'm just thinking, if you wanted to stay a Brave no matter what, and the money wasn't an option, I would tell the agent, okay, let's settle on these. This is the first and second and third offer, and if they still, after 2 offers, they still don't want to play, take whatever, because I want to be a Brave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I don't get. So obviously there's something was lost in translation, or I don't know.
But at the same time, I get a player wants, a player deserves to be paid.
Yeah,
Need to take a hometown discount. But at the same time, I think you have to look at it too as, the players need to look at it and be like, okay, where am I at on, being paid amongst other first basemen? And then also look at it more realistically, like, okay, I'm 32 years old. Should I be the top paid first baseman? I guess, there's that aspect. Do you want to be the top paid first baseman, or do you want to be a Brave? That sort of thing.
It's one or the other. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't, you can't have your cake and eat it too sometimes. That's not the way the world works, unfortunately.
Right.
But, that is such a weird thing. And I'm sure this isn't the last time we're going to be hearing about this. There's going to be more stuff, especially if they face each other in the playoffs.
Oh, you can already tell there's people that are begging for that situation already, because it would make for good drama,
Yep.
Halfway through the game, he leaves, goes to the Braves bench, and puts on a Braves uniform, and they throw... I don't know. I'm kidding. They throw him out of the game. All right. Do you have a hot or not for us this week, Vinny?
I do.
All right. Let's do it.
And now, folks, it's time for
Who's Hot?
So damn hot.
Oh, hot.
Because I'm a hot little potato right now. And who's not?
I'm afraid that the conditioners left me cold.
Freezing my royal Rastafarian name-is off.
This guy sucks.
All right. Vinny, take it away with this week's Who's Hot and Who's Not.
All right, this isn't a weekly Who's Hot or Not. Since it's July 1st,
Yes.
I did the month.
Okay.
So we're just going to go do the month since we're not doing this on Thursday. So, I missed last week posting that, so I didn't feel like looking it up. I just did the month of June.
Okay.
So we're going to just do June. And since you're the only one here, you get to do all the guessing,
Oh,
Justin.
man. All right.
Good luck.
This isn't
all right,
good. Okay.
I'll start with the easy one. I'll throw you some softballs here.
Oh, thank you.
Yes. Cubs. Who was hot for the month of June?
Cubs for the month of June. Granted, he did cool off near the end. I'm going to say Chris Morel, just because he was so on fire. Okay, then I have no idea.
Your guy, Ian Happ.
Ian Happ. All right, I should have known better.
Slashed 327, 417, 531.
Wow.
948 with 3 home runs, 9 doubles, 11 RBIs, had a walk rate of 11.3%, and a strikeout rate of 13.0%. He had a BABIP of 358 and a weighted runs created plus of 162.
Okay.
Good month for Ian Happ, potential all-star Ian Happ. Ooh. Who is not hot for the Cubs?
Okay, it's not Wilson. It's not Patrick Wisdom. I feel like he's been having a good season. It's not Nico Horner.
We're only talking about a month, though.
Okay. Then I guess Wisdom, maybe? All right. Wow. Thanks for the hint.
Yeah, you're welcome. When you went past him, I'm like, oh, there you go. You're going to get it wrong. So, I told you I'd toss you a softball.
Thank you.
Patrick Wisdom was not hot in the month of June. He slashed 227, 330 on base percentage, which was actually quite impressive for him. Slugged 433 with an OPS of 763, 5 home runs, 5 doubles, 17 RBIs, a walk rate of 12.5%. And a strikeout rate of 28.6%. A BABIP of 283 and a weighted runs created plus of 112. So actually, not the worst month. I mean, it's actually, weighted runs created plus of 112 is actually pretty, decent. So not a terrible month for him, but he was of the players with the minimum plate appearances, he was the coldest of them. Okay. Moving on to the White Sox, where it's going to get harder for you, Justin.
Yeah, it's going to get real tough. Okay.
Who is hot for the White Sox?
Ooh,
Greg
you know what?
Would be able to guess this one.
I'm going to say Jose Abreu. All right.
Good job. Slash 346, 431, 533, OPS of 940 or 64, 4 home runs, 8 doubles, 15 RBIs, 12.2 walk rate, and a 12.2 strikeout rate. BABIP of 375 and a weighted runs created plus of 181.
Okay. Not bad.
Who was not hot this month?
Oh, this is going to be tough. I'm trying to think because I don't remember who's injured and who's not for the White Sox. I'm going to say
that could be another segment.
It could. Who's healthy and who's alive and who's dead should be the segment. Gosh, all right, I'm going to throw a random White Sox. I want to say Leori Garcia, but I'm guessing he doesn't have enough plate appearances. All right, then I don't know. Okay.
I'll give you a hint. This guy was in a trade recently, or this season.
To the White Sox?
Yeah.
Oh, Pollock. Yes. God, I forgot he was still on the team.
This guy here is dead. AJ Pollock slash 268, 311, 402, 713 in the month of June. 2 home runs, 5 doubles, 13 RBIs, a walk rate of 4.9%. Yikes. And a strikeout rate of 20.4%. Not good.
Oh, man.
Even more disturbing is his BABIP of 324 and his weighted runs created plus of 105. So, yeah, that's... Yeah, not a bad luck month either for him. So
yuck. Not
good for AJ Pollock and the White Sox. They've not been good. If I told you asked you who had the higher weighted runs created plus for the year, do you know who between the Cubs and the White Sox has it so far this season?
Just as an organization itself, as a team?
As a team.
I'm going to go Cubs.
Yes. They
wow.
106 or 103 to 98. So, yeah, the White Sox are abysmal right now on offense, but it's probably because they have Leori Legend out there almost every night.
Well, hey, you know what, Vinny? You got to look at his at-bats. Look at the way he's foul tipping the ball. That's it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Oh, man.
Good Lord.
Yeah, not good. All right. Looking at the MLB. Okay, I'll give you a hint on who is hot this month. Do you have a guess at all?
I have a guess. I'm going to go Paul Goldschmidt. All right, I don't know then.
This guy plays for Houston.
George Springer.
He doesn't even play for Houston.
He doesn't. I thought
he plays for the Blue Jays.
Oh, that's right. He used to play for the Astros, right?
Yes, he did.
Okay, all right. I have no idea. Jose Altuve? I don't know.
No. Yordan Alvarez.
Oh, I forgot about Yordan. Okay.
418 for the month of June, 510 on base percentage, 835 slugging for a 1.346 for the entire month of June. 9 home runs, 4 doubles, 28 RBIs, walk rate of 13.5%, and a strikeout rate of 13.5%. A BABIP of 414 and a weighted runs created plus for the entire month of June of 277.
Wow. Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay.
Be nice to have that offensive production. Who was not hot for the month?
Can you give me a team? Clearly that's not going to help, but we can try.
You should know now. I'll give you the team, and you should know the players on this team because they are your second favorite team, Seattle.
Okay. Oh, God. Let me see here.
Dr. Condom's a Seattle fan, right?
Is he really?
I thought so.
Oh, yes. Zach, yes. All right. I'm going to go with Jesse Winker. Okay, I have no idea. Who is it?
This guy was a hot commodity last year at second base.
Second base.
The White Sox were rumored to trade for him. He played for the Pirates.
Adam Frazier. All right.
Adam Frazier was not hot for the month of June. 144, 225, 156 slugging, 381 OPS, 0 home runs, 1 double, 4 RBIs, a walk rate of 9.8%, and a strikeout rate of 9.8%. A BABIP of 159 and a weighted runs created plus of 18. Yikes. Not good for the Seattle Mariners. They are struggling right now as a team anyways.
They're struggling. It's sad. I want to see them win.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Yeah.
We both picked them to win the division. That's
we
not
did.
Going to happen.
It's not looking good. I think the Astros got that one in the bag, probably.
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, still not a fan of them. But all right. Well, I guess should we move on to whatever now?
Sure. You don't have any Bulls talk?
I was going to bring up just that our guy Zach Levine signed up with the Bulls for 5 more years. I think he got the Supermax
Max contract.
$215 million for 5 years.
Yeah.
Good for him. Vinny, I guess the only thing I was going to ask you is where do you stand? Are you excited for Bulls season coming up or no? Don't care.
I don't know. I feel like they still need to make a move. They got was it Andre
Drummond
too?
Yeah. Do you know he's only like 27? I thought he was like 35.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, he must have been like 18 when he came into the league or something like that. Because he's been around. He's been
long
with
time.
Detroit for a long time, and I think didn't he play with L.A. the past year or two?
So, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. He doesn't really do anything.
No.
Is he good defensively?
I think he's more of a backup center maybe at this point.
At this point of his career?
Yeah. I mean, I know Rudy Gobert. Yeah. Rudy Gobert got traded to, was it Minnesota today? It was somebody traded for him. I can't remember who, but Minnesota or maybe Dallas. I want to say it was Minnesota. So that's off the table. So we'll see. I'm getting a little excited.
Durant.
No, God, no. I wouldn't, to be honest, I wouldn't want him. He's 34 already. And I definitely don't want Kyrie Irving. He's insane.
Yeah.
You can keep the Flat Earth Society as far from this team as we can, please.
Yeah.
All right. Other than that, though, I got nothing. Let's move on to the fun stuff. Let's get to whatever.
Now it's time for whatever.
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 Whatever you want.
Whatever I want.
Whatever, dude. Irrelevant.
Whatever, dude.
All right. This week, since we are only a duo this week, we don't have our third musketeer with us. Vinny suggested let's dive back into It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia because that is one of our favorite shows, and I don't think Greg has actually really seen a lot of it, so perfect timing.
I don't think he's a fan of it.
Oh, is that what it is? He's not a fan. Okay, well, Greg, I don't know. That might be the one thing we disagree on. Gosh, and the White Sox and Cubs thing, but other than that, But so what we're going to do is I hesitant to call it the Slime 5 because Greg's not here, so I don't know if it's the official Slime 5 that Greg runs.
The unofficial official?
The unofficial
maybe?
Official Slime 5. So what we're going to do, if you haven't listened to a podcast of ours when we do this, that we've done this in the past, we have 10 random episodes in this hat if you're watching on Twitch or YouTube, or if you're listening, I have a hat in front of me right now with 10 random It's Always Sunny episodes. And my wife picked 10 random episodes because she is the It's Always Sunny super fan. She would not show me what episodes she picked. She hid them from me all week. She was so excited when you asked if she wanted to do this, Vinny. She is a.
I figured she would want to.
She is a lovely supporter of the podcast and our silly hobby we have here. So she picked 10 episodes. I also have 10 strips of paper filled with, and I'm not going to look at them, 10 strips of paper filled with facts and fun information about each episode as well. She went above and beyond.
Nice.
She also said, though, she did not do as good of a job as Greg did in that regard, so she apologizes for that. But she did awesome. So I guess without further ado, I'm going to pick 5 episodes out of this hat. Are we ready?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. The first episode we are going to rank, I should probably be typing these so I don't forget, is Season 8, Episode 3. Oh, this is a good one. And that is the Maureen Ponderosa Wedding Massacre. Oh, that's a great episode. I love that episode. That's a good one. All right, our next one, randomly drawn from my Cubs hat here. The Gang Gets Quarantined, Season 9, Episode 7. Also a very good episode. Yes. And we'll dive into that one a little bit deeper. That's a great one. Our third random episode of It's Always Sunny is... Ooh, this is an earlier one. Season 3, Episode 2, The Gang Gets Invincible. Which is a great one. I have a fun fact on that one that I learned from their podcast. If you're an It's Always Sunny fan and you need a podcast to listen to, their weekly podcast is excellent. I really enjoy their podcast. Last two, number 4 here we have is Season 1, Episode 3, Underage Drinking, a National Concern. It's funny. I've only seen that one once. Just because I don't usually go back to the first season very often. All right, and the last one, Season 2, Episode 5, $100 Baby. Man,
these are all really good.
These are bangers. Just for the hell of it, do we want to see what the other ones are? Or should we save those for another day?
We can save them for another day.
All right.
Then we can maybe use them for another one.
Yeah, that sounds good. We'll do it again.
But do you want to do the synopsis for each episode?
Yes, I do. Good. She actually sent me the synopsis for each one. Wow, man, look at her. Or do you have synopses?
I don't have anything written up or.
Oh man. All right, hold on. I'm pulling up these here. All right, I think I got them all. And here we go. So let's start with. Oh man, she picked some good. These are good episodes. All right. I will pretend I forgot about those. Okay. The first synopsis. We have underage drinking, a national concern. This was from Season 1, Episode 3, August 16th, 2005. Wow. 2005, I would have been just starting college freshman year. That takes me back. All right.
Would have been wow.
Sophomore, junior in high school?
Yeah.
It's been a long time. That long. Well, and I mean, it's kind of nice because they only do 10 episodes a season, so like they're usually all pretty good. It's not raw, dragged out and everything.
Yep.
All right, so the synopsis for underage drinking. After noticing a rise in underage patrons, the gang decides to make a few accommodating adjustments to their younger crowd. All right. And we can pull up more about that later. Season 2, Episode 3, July 13th, 2006. Oh, God. All right. $100 Baby. Dee agrees to take boxing lessons from Frank after being mugged. Mac and Dennis enter Charlie in an underground street fight match. Dee and Charlie dabble in performance-enhancing supplements. It's such a good episode.
Yep.
All right. Season 3, Episode 2, September 13th, 2007. God, I didn't even know your sister yet at this point, Vinny. All right. It was a different life. The Philadelphia Eagles hold open tryouts, and Mac, Dennis, and Dee use the event for their personal competition. That's also the episode where Charlie and Frank just want to hang out and get drunk. But I think Frank ends up dropping acid, and yes. Charlie has a problem with the McPoyle family, if I'm not mistaken. Fun fact, this is the first appearance of Green Man. The show paid one of Rob's friends an undisclosed amount of money for the full rights to Green Man, as he used to wear the green suit to Eagles games. Wow, I did not know that. All right, Season 8, Episode 3, October 25th, 2012. See, now this episode, I feel like this was like 2 years ago. It was 10. The Maureen Ponderosa Wedding Massacre. In an effort to sever all ties with Maureen Ponderosa, Dennis and the gang plan to crash Maureen's wedding and wreak havoc. Because she's getting married, he wanted to make sure the wedding goes through so then he doesn't have to keep paying her alimony. Mm-hmm. And then there's some bath salts involved, and things go to hell pretty quickly. Because anything with the McPoyles, whoops, I just ripped that in half. All right, last one. Season 9, Episode 7, October 16th, 2013. The gang gets quarantined. The gang voluntarily quarantines himself inside of Patty's in an attempt to keep their singing voices pristine for an upcoming competition when a severe flu outbreak sweeps Philadelphia. They only later find out it wasn't that they had the flu, it's that they were just going through alcohol withdrawals.
Love it.
I love that episode. All right. Vinny, why don't you start us off? Because I need to rank mine still. I have not ranked. I know which ones I'm going to be doing, but go ahead. Start us off with your number 5.
Number 5 for me is the underage drinking episode. These are really hard to rank. They're all really good episodes, but for me, number 5, that one's good. That one's really good. Charlie ended up being like the only one that's like, because they kind of like go back in time and like, I guess not go back in time, but they all kind of start reliving like high school again because they're allowing high schoolers to drink at their bar, and they're trying to do it. They're watering down the beer, which they're making money off these underage kids by serving them pretty much water.
Yes.
But they're thinking, they're rationalizing that they're helping these kids because, back in their day, they would just get a 30-pack and then go get drunk at, who is it? They would crash their car in the lake, or they would drive,
That's right.
I can't think of the kid's name, but they would drive his car into the lake or something like that. And so they're rationalizing that they're helping these kids, which they're just ripping them off pretty much. But then they all get like invited to go to prom. There's like there's like a boyfriend and girlfriend in high school that they're trying to make each other jealous by hitting on Dee and Dennis. And yeah, there's a whole thing there. Mac, of course, is like the third wheel that gets left out, and he gets pissed about it, and they crash. I think they crashed somebody's high school party. And Mac is just like talking trash and like wants to start a fight with everybody there. And yeah, Charlie ends up just being the like only good guy out of the whole group, like involved in the whole underage drinking scheme with the kids. But yeah, that one's a good episode. Probably not the strongest out of the 5 here, but for me is number 5.
I have that as my number 5 as well, on underage drinking, a national concern. I think they were still trying to find themselves a little bit, because that's, like you said, that's like, I don't remember what order they filmed them in. I know they talked about that on their podcast, that they didn't film them in the order that they were put out by FX. But there are some good lines in there. I mean, the fact that Charlie is so involved. I think there's the line, I'm looking at it right now. It says, "That's Tammy, Trey's ex-girlfriend. This is classic Tammy. Trey broke up with Tammy because Maureen Kennelin said that they saw Tammy flirting with Walt Timmy at a party, but she only was doing it to make Trey jealous because, she thought that Trey secretly liked Aaron Hennebrey, but he doesn't like Aaron Hennebrey. It was all a bunch of bullshit." And then Charlie goes on, and Mac's like, "You know what? I don't care about any of this. Shut the hell up."
Right.
But yeah, the fact that they get Dee gets a prom dress, even though she's like, I think at this point in the show she's like 25.
She's wearing her old prom dress, I think.
Yes, that was it. Yes. Also, fun fact: starting with this episode, the show moved to a new time slot of Tuesday at 11 p.m. Gosh, that seems like so crazy that the show even had a chance, because I feel like 11 p.m. on a Tuesday, who's staying up to watch it? Glucose says, "I need to watch more Sunny." Yes, I'd say the last, there's not really a weak season. The last 10 have been really good, and 5, 6, 7, 8 I think is really, really good. Those are some of my favorites. So
they crashed Nicky Potnick's car into a tree in high school while drunk driving. And that's one of the rationales that they used when they were coming up with the scheme to let these kids drink at the bar.
That's right. And Nicky Potnick would come up again. That was one of the name tags at their high school reunion.
Yes,
I believe Frank takes. And no one, for a while, everyone thought that was the name of the waitress was Nicky Potnick, but I don't believe they've ever confirmed that or not. But
no.
A couple other good quotes from this episode. Let's see. There's one here. "These kids are wasted, bro. I think we need to cut them off." That's Mac. Dennis replies, "I am cutting them off. These kids haven't had more than 3 drinks each. Plus, there's so much water. They're probably more hydrated than they've ever been in their entire lives." And then Charlie says, "Look how much fun these kids are having." And Mac replies, "Of course they are. They haven't realized how much life sucks quite yet."
Right.
It's oh God, it's even though that's our number 5 for both of us, that is still, for being the 3rd episode in the whole entire series, it's still a pretty good episode. So
right. Or when Charlie goes and breaks up the fight.
Yes.
Hey.
Look at the eyes. Give me the eyes.
Take a walk.
Getting ready to beat up an 18-year-old. Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Such a good episode.
Good episode. All right. What's your number 4, Vinny, of It's Always Sunny?
Number 4 for me is the Maureen Ponderosa massacre.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. Well, like I said, these were all really.
They're all good episodes. Yeah.
But yeah, number 4 for me, really funny with the bath salts. There was kind of, they were like on cue with that because there was all that stuff going on with bath salts.
That was
and
when that
turning,
was
like into zombies.
Yeah.
And they thought, I think in the episode they thought there was a bat bite. I think Frank got bit
rabid,
by a bat.
yeah.
Yeah, and they thought that people were going rabid and turning into zombies because of the bat that got Frank. Got somebody else there, and yeah, they were all going crazy. But it was just Bill Ponderosa who spiked the punch or something with bath salts, and everybody was high on it with the McPoyle family.
The McPoyle
and
family, yep.
Yeah, that was good. That was one I think I've only seen once, to be honest.
Really? Okay.
I haven't seen it more than that. But so that's probably why it's lower than it probably could be. It probably could be higher. But
Okay.
yeah, it was a really good episode though.
That's I'll give you a piece of trivia for that one. Guillermo del Toro is in that. He plays Pappy McPoyle, and they actually got him to do it because apparently Charlie Day worked with him on Pacific Rim, and that's how they got him on the show.
Interesting.
Yeah, Pacific Rim wasn't actually... I saw the first one. That wasn't a bad movie. It was a fun action movie. All right, my number 4. Let me pull up my list here. My number 4 is The Gang Gets Invincible.
Nice.
And like you said, these are all great episodes. That is an excellent episode here. Let me see what season that is from season 3. Overall though, I love the fact that they're just going to have tryouts. Dee dresses up as a man. She's going to be the kicker, and she's the only one that's making any headway in that. And that just upsets, Mac and Dennis to no degree. And then I believe at the end they need her to kick, and she kicks, and doesn't she like break her ankle or something? If I'm not mistaken.
Yes, she shatters her leg.
She shatters her leg. A couple other fun little tidbits in that one. Jeffrey Owens from The Cosby Show comes in, and they hire him and say he's supposed to be Donovan McNabb, and he's just going to give them a pep talk. And they're like, that's not Donovan McNabb. And then the best part is they keep having Jeffrey Owens come back, and one episode they say, oh, this is Tiger Woods. And they're like, you're not Tiger Woods, dude. Like, he just keeps playing these characters that are clearly not him. And then the other thing I really liked about that is Faison Love plays the coach in that episode. Supposedly they got Faison to come do that show, and they were talking about this on their podcast, that typically they would give some of these actors like the reads of what they need to know. Well, apparently he didn't look at his. He just assumed they were an improv show. He thought It's Always Sunny was an improv show.
Yeah.
So he didn't read any of the lines they gave for him. So that whole speech he's giving to them at the beginning is just stuff he made up because he didn't know any of his lines. And then finally they had to work around it and redo some things because it didn't work all together. But they said they loved him and he was a great guy, even though they had that issue with it. So
he's funny.
He is. He's a funny as hell guy. The fact that the McPoyles are in this episode, and just you meet some of the extended family, and they're all coming out of this really wretched RV trailer.
Yeah, that wasn't the first time, right?
No, I don't think so. Was that the one
Charlie,
where
Charlie was in on the scheme with trying to accuse the gym teacher?
Yes,
Mr. It was the guy from Saved by the Bell.
Yes,
the principal,
Mr. Belding. I can't remember what his name was in the show, but yeah,
yeah.
And then the fact that he's like, I just want to get blackout drunk, leave me alone, and he's got his Green Man suit on, and Frank keeps bothering him. Frank takes acid. This might have been one of the first episodes we see Artemis, because Artemis shows up in this episode. He's like hallucinating, or is she in it before that?
She's in it before that. It was the episode where Dee wants more help in the I forgot what the episode was, but Dee wants help, and she invites Artemis to apply for the job, and she convinces Dennis that Artemis is one of the looks like a girl from the movie Coyote Ugly, and so he has her come in, and of course it's Artemis, and she does not look like one of the ladies in the movie Coyote Ugly, and Dennis was not happy about that. That was the introduction of Artemis, but she's in this episode, and the episodes she's in are usually pretty good.
Oh man, yeah. I'm looking at the Donovan McNabb imposter quote. His speech is, "Hey guys, I'm Donovan McNabb. Woo! I play quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, and I'm here to tell you that you can too if you start every day with a hearty breakfast from McDonald's. Like the new sausage egg McGriddle value meal, available now for a limited time for under $5. Remember, guys, real champs eat at McDonald's. I'm loving it. Can I get my check now?"
Right.
And
they get upset. They're like, that was just a pitch for McDonald's.
Yeah, that's all that was, right? And then he somehow takes acid, and Artemis is like, he's been trying to climb through that garbage can for 20 minutes. I'm pretty sure he's on acid. Yeah. and that's it. So that is one of my favorites. I do enjoy it. Dennis, I love the scene where Dennis is like running in slow motion to make a catch, and he's talking about his form is just like Jerry Rice's, and he's so good. I'm gonna pop my shirt off. They're gonna love me. And he can't catch a ball to save his life.
He gets knocked out by the ball.
That's right. He gets knocked in the.
he goes to
head.
Turn to make the catch, and he just gets hit in the face.
So good. So good. So that is my number 4 out of those 5 that we pulled. The gang gets Invincible. There you go.
Yep.
All right.
One.
What's your number 3, Vinny?
My number 3 is The Gang Gets Invincible. Really good episode. I think the whole thing with Dee faking to be a man, which is Cole, I think is what she calls herself.
Cole, yes, Cole.
And,
that's right.
And of course, she punts the ball earlier, and the ball goes like, 2 miles. Just kills it. And then right before she does the kick in front of the real coaches, she pulls off like the wig and the mustache that she had on, and says, I'm gonna do this as a woman, and then she goes to kick it and breaks her leg. And the only good player there was McPoyle.
Yes. That's right.
And
that's right.
And so the McPoyle family thought they were all gonna be millionaires and stuff like that. And what ends up happening is Frank is high on acid and thinks Charlie's a giant lizard man because Charlie was slipped acid by Frank.
That's
and
right.
He's dancing around with the McPoyle family, not
In the
thinking
Green
that they
Man,
recognize him. And the funny thing is, Frank thinks that Charlie's a lizard man coming to get him, and he goes, lizard man, and Charlie's like, wait, where? He's like looking around for the lizard man. And then Frank shoots his gun and ends up hitting the I can't think of the McPoyle, but the brother that was going to make the Eagles. And they got upset, and that actually leads into another episode where the McPoyles hold them hostage at the bar.
That's correct. Yeah.
But yes, the Frank getting stuck in the trash can. He sees Artemis's face,
and he's like in her mouth.
Yeah, he got locked in.
The trailer, right?
When he went to Woodstock, he got himself locked into Winnebago. So when he had to go to the bathroom, he had to go into the McPoyles. Well, he was hallucinating that he was going in the McPoyles Winnebago and got himself locked in. And then Artemis says that he needs to climb through her mouth, which her face is in the toilet. And then that's just they flash out of his trip, and it's just him in a trash can stuck there. Pooping in the trash can, or pooping himself.
That's right.
In the trash can. That episode's great. I love it. And then Donald Faison actually said that he referred to the the Invincible movie. I almost said Philadelphia, completely different movie.
Yesterday, wow.
He referred to that movie as the New Kids on the Block movie.
That's
but
right.
Mark Wahlberg wasn't in New Kids on the Block. Donnie Wahlberg was. So,
right.
Yes. So that was a mistake. That was probably one of his improvs that he screwed up. But it ends up working because, everybody thinks that they know what that means. But, I had no idea that Mark Wahlberg, I knew.
We had the Funky Bunch.
Yes, he was in Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch. Which
supposedly he refuses to talk about that time period in his life, I guess, when people try to interview him. Like, he will not talk about his music career, which... it doesn't surprise me, I guess, but All right. Well, that is a great episode. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to, after we're done, put some of these on and watch them. Yeah. All right. My number 3. This is one of the newer ones, and that is The Gang Gets Quarantined. If you're not familiar with that episode, I know we read the synopsis earlier. Some of the best parts. The episode starts with them reciting or practicing because they're going to a singing contest where they're going to dress up as Boys to Men.
Sorry,
that's all right. Keeping me on my toes. Right. They're practicing, they're singing, they're going to sing, I believe, Motown Philadelphia by Boys to Men. They're going to wear the sweaters and everything, and there's a really bad flu going around, so they're like, all right, we're going to lock it down, we're going to stay in the bar. Then they decide they need to go out for beer and pizza and stuff, and I'm looking at the pictures right now, screenshots of it. They get like these really makeshift hazmat suits, which really just look like... I don't know, like an exterminator outfit with like a fish bowl on top of their head. And then they have like a little like bottle opener so they can drink while they have them on. And, they talk about how they can't, there can't be a breach. And Frank kind of goes off the deep end. He shaves all the hair off his body and he's walking around in his underwear and like with oil and stuff on him. really creepy. Just a hysterical episode. They end up locking themselves in the bathroom. They feel like they're going to die. And then, Charlie says, well, we can drink some of this. I have alcohol in here. And he's got it in like one of the disinfectant bottles. They drink that. They feel great. And it's just because they were not having enough alcohol in their system. Mm-hmm. So that's the end. And then I think they go to sing, and I don't think they win. I think they lose, don't they, pretty quick?
No, they missed the competition.
They missed the competition.
Entirely.
Okay. They missed it entirely. So that is one of my favorite episodes. That is my number 3 out of the 5 we picked. The gang gets quarantined. Go ahead, Vinny. What's your number 2?
Number 2 for me is $100 Baby.
Ooh, good one.
Love that one. Yeah, the whole boxing match set up with Frank. And I forgot. That started with them getting mugged
in the street
alleyway,
or the alleyway.
And they all left D, and D wanted to start fighting, and Frank started talking about his fighting days, and how he was a great boxer.
Frankie Fast Hands.
Yes,
right?
Frankie Fast Hands. And started boxing, so he was going to train Deandra. And I know, like, the first couple of times they show her working out at the gym, Frank's like sitting there telling her how to lift weights, and he's like, you got to sit there and you got to jerk the machine down. And she's like, none of that sounds correct.
None of that sounds correct. No, exactly.
And then the whole underground fighting thing with Charlie.
Oh my God. What was his Clown Baby, right?
Clown Baby,
Clown
yes.
Baby,
Clown
yes.
Baby, because no one would vote for Clown Baby.
No. Oh
yeah,
God,
so he'd be a total underdog. Yes. That whole thing, and then the training montage with which was it? They had Dee taking a bunch of steroids and lifting tons of weights, and then Charlie.
She's shaving her mustache and everything.
Yes, Charlie getting the crap kicked out of him because they said Charlie was like the best one to get the shit kicked out of him.
Taking punches,
he could take a hit. Yeah. And that's all he had to do was take punches.
Yeah, I love it when they go to his apartment, they open the door, and they're like, was it like ding dong, bitch? And they hit him with a chair right when he answers the door or something.
The trash can.
The trash can, that's it. Yes, that's it.
They're going to work their way up to the chair.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Oh, God, that's such a good episode. Eric also says the competition that in the quarantine episode it got canceled, apparently.
Oh, okay.
That was it. It's been so long since I've seen that. But my number 2, to piggyback off yours, my number 2 is $100 Baby as well. A little bit trivia. In interviews, Caitlin Olsen has said that after she gave birth to the first child with Rob McElhenney, fans would walk up to her on the street as she pushed the baby stroller and enthusiastically shout, "I will eat your babies, bitch," in her face, which is where that line comes from that episode, because she tells the other boxer who she's going to fight against that. Yes. Frankie Fast Hands, Clown Baby, the fact that you see both Dee and Charlie taking steroids or whatever enhancement they are, and they starting to get that roid rage a little bit, and then they start like shoving each other's faces at each other. When I think Charlie's eating like a steak, and then
he's eating the
hoagie sandwich. Yeah. That's it. Okay, and then they're kind of going at it. It's just hysterical, and it still makes me cringe every time at the end when the girl that she's fighting, doesn't she fall and break her neck on the stool?
Yes, she breaks her neck because Frank was going to fight her father. Yeah, father. Yeah, they're going to rematch, and then Frank sucker punches him, and the guy falls into his daughter, and then she is going to be like a professional boxer too. Yes.
I apparently that the other boxer, the other guy that Frank was going to fight is Eddie Mecca, who was in Laverne and Shirley as Carmine. I have not watched. Can't say I've watched Laverne and Shirley, but he actually passed away last year. He passed away last November, so he was 69. So yeah, that is a great episode in general. I just love that episode. So many good quotes. The underground fighting ring. Then when Charlie doesn't show up and you find out that Mac is going to fight, but then Dennis bets against him, so he gets all this money, and then Mac is absolutely pissed about it. It's just a great episode. So that is my number 2. So Vinny, what is your number 1?
My number 1 is The Gang Gets Quarantined.
Okay.
I after the whole pandemic and everything, that episode holds even closer to my heart. Just the whole fact that Frank has to shave it. Like, Frank has this like weird obsession about germs that you find out, and shaves his entire body and puts no, not disinfected, but hand sanitizer.
That's
all
what
over
it
his
was,
body.
not oil.
And that's what they find him at the end of the episode, like clawing around on the ground, saying he just wants to be clean. The whole thing is hilarious. Yeah, the fact that they think that they're all getting sick at certain points, but they're just having alcohol withdrawals is great. Yeah. Yes, the suits that they had on were ones from when Charlie was growing up. And it was it was him and his mom, because Charlie has got like OCD because of his mom. His mom's got OCD, so yeah, they had those suits so Charlie wouldn't get sick, and Charlie modified it so he could put a beer in there and still drink. Yeah. And then they had like the suits got holes in it, and they're like trying to close them up.
You have a breach. Yeah, and they're freaking out at the convenience store. Yeah.
And then they were throwing everybody in the bathroom that had a breach, and they all looked terrible because they were going through alcohol withdrawal. Yep. Yes, that was a great episode. That was number one, and it just plays even more after going through an actual pandemic. What that entailed in actually being quarantined, and what that was like. But yeah,
they were ahead of their time a little bit on that one.
They were, yes, they were. But yes, that was my number one, because especially that whole Frank thing, him just starting just break down and lose it, was hilarious.
It was awesome. That is a great that's one I've only seen probably like 2 or 3 times, but it's one that I really, really enjoyed for sure. All right, my number one is the Maureen Ponderosa Wedding Massacre. That episode, oddly enough, that is from what I'm gathering here online, that is the first episode that doesn't have the traditional song that they play before every episode of It's Always Sunny. That's the one where they have like the really creepy Halloween-like font. And then it goes from there. My favorite part of that episode, obviously, when they're talking with the police and the detectives trying to figure out what was happening. And Charlie goes on this quaint speech from Jaws. He's like, zombies, I've seen it once before on a rat. And I see it now in men. Once it gets a taste for its own kind, it can spread through a pack like wildfire. And then he goes on about, they look like doll's eyes, and he's just going on and on, but he's just... That's just from Jaws, Charlie. Like, you can't just make shit up. But and then the fact when they think Dee has started to lose it, but really she's just pissed because they locked her away in one of the rooms in the freezer, I think, right?
Yes, it was.
And she's like, no, she's kicking the shit out of him, and then they crash her car again, if I'm not mistaken. That's the second time they crash her car, and she just goes apeshit on him, but. Just so many tie-ins to other characters, and then, Dennis is trying to make them sign the paperwork so he doesn't have to pay alimony, but then he ends up sleeping with Maureen, and then he's just screaming because at the end, the detectives are like, somebody posted your bail. You're free to go, Dennis. And he's like, what? No. And he just starts screaming, and the camera pans over, and it's Maureen. Like, what does she say? Like, let's go home, sleepyhead, or something like something really creepy and weird, because she's such a weird character. But and that was before she went full Catwoman and became a cat too. So, But overall, that is a great episode. So that is my number one, the Maureen Ponderosa Wedding Massacre.
Nice.
We've made it to the end, Vinny.
We did.
We're done. Hour and a half. This might be the quickest show we've had in some time.
It has been.
It has been. So thank you to all those that watched with us, that were in the chat, that wrote in. Check out more. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. If you want to hear a little bit about my thoughts on the Cubs and Red Sox series, like I said, the guys from the Pesky Report, which is a Red Sox podcast, were nice enough to have me on yesterday. We talked about being a Cubs fan, what it's like in Chicago, being a fan, what to expect from this series. And I expected a Red Sox sweep, so I am already...
You're wrong.
A good amount wrong. Erica in the chat says, good show, boys. Thank you, darling.
Thank you.
So, yes, that is it. If you want to leave us a comment or feedback, tweet us at Baseball and What. You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/baseball and whatever. Email us at baseballandwhatever@gmail.com. We are all on all your podcast apps of choice, and you can shoot us a text or leave us a voicemail at 1-913-808-3278. That number again is 1-913-808-FART. All right. Well, that is it. We will be back next week with more fun and tomfoolery on baseball and whatever. Take care, everybody.
See ya.